live, we are live, we are live. If you are here, put some comments in the chat boxes, let me know you are here. If you're watching on the hub, now there may be some audio and video sync issues. I would recommend checking out the Facebook live feed, which is happening right now in the group. If you are in the group, say hello and let me know you're here. And as ever, we'll give people a few moments to arrive and then we'll get started. So I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. It's been wonderful here and it's been great. Been great personally doing that that perfect average day exercise. Big up Karen for getting that done. So yeah, let me know you can see me. I'm going to check out various hubs. I've got various comment functionalities going on today. Very exciting. So Liam is here, fantastic. Good, good, good. All right, who else we got? Bex is here, outstanding. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here. It is wonderful to have you. At the moment, I don't even believe the stream is even happening. So who knows? Who knows? So yeah, Carl, brother Carl is on the session. Miranda is on the session. Awesome! It is very, very good to have you all. Seriously, seriously exciting. So yeah, definitely, guys. Whilst we're waiting for the others to come on the session, do post up any questions you've got. Because you know the purpose of this session is to really make sure we can hit the next phase, you know, hit the ground running with the next phase. So the next phase we're starting to move more into how do we develop clarity around how we might share our gifts. You know, what does it look like when we start to kind of bring these things together? So so go ahead and pop any questions you've got. You know, was there anything about creativity that you didn't quite you know, grasp? Was there anything from the True You exercise that you're like, hang on, I did that bit, but I haven't got this bit? Anything from the story synergy? Anything from the, you know, the wows that we did? So post up anything now so we can make sure it gets covered. I'm going to check the old comments. Cam is here, Clint's here, good stuff. And guys, yeah, like, you know, big up Clint for reaching out and saying, you know, I'm not sure you know, it's hard to keep up. Listen, guys, life happens, okay? Life happens, all right? And this program, this journey we are on has been designed so that whenever you have the option, the moments, you can dip in, do little bits here and there. But also, more than that, we're going to be covering a lot of similar things, just from slightly different angles. So if you feel like, oh, I haven't covered this bit, don't fret. The chances are we're going to cover it in a slightly different way. So don't fret. Obviously, if you get a chance, do dip in and make sure you catch up. But if not, no stress whatsoever. This is designed so that it really can work regardless of how deeply you can go into it. As long as you can turn up to most sessions, then you're going to be good to go. Cool. I'm seeing some questions. Can you go back through the True You? Yep, absolutely, I can do that. I do need to catch up a bit. Bex, last two nights here it was. We had the perfect average day exercise, was your kind of homework for the weekend. The only other one was taking some time to play. Okay, taking some time to play. I went bodyboarding. I know Karen jumped on some online games. Michelle, she says she's been playing all day. So it's simply that, Bex. It was just to... And I'll give you the purpose of why we did that in a few moments as well. So welcome everyone else who's arriving. I see Sophia's on the session. Cam, brother, it's good to have you on here as well. And yeah, today has been, it's been a really interesting one for me. So I'll clue you in on that in a moment as well. We'll give you about another minute. For those who have just joined, do post up any questions you've got about any of the sessions we've been through. So that if there's anything, any bits still kind of jigsaw pieces not quite in place, post them up as questions. Let's get them dealt with, okay? And it is outstanding to have you all here. I really, really do. It's a blessing. Going to check the old hub, which, yeah, the hub is gone. So who knows what's happening there? Yeah, I mean, Google. Basically, Google have decided to stop this perfectly good service that I was using to stream everything into the hub and replace it with this infinitely more complex thing, which I've been wrestling with for the last 6 hours or so to try and work out. And I've got like half the battle won, but the rest of the battle clearly is still to be won because I can't even see the stream. So who knows? But That doesn't mean there won't be a recording. For this session, I've got 3 different things recording this so that you have the recording you need. And I'll be posting that up later this evening. Cool. So we're going to get going pretty damn sharpish, I reckon. I see a few more comments coming through. Yeah, nice. Good. So Cam, that's fantastic. And yeah, I think, you know, I said the exercise was from a guy called Frank Kern. And I think when he did it, it was like 11 pages long. So, you know, when I fill out that template that I've put together, it'll definitely stretch into, I would think, 3 or 4 pages of A4 type. So, but yeah, good exercise. I'm glad it's helping. Nice. Got to go out fishing with some of the lads on the boat. Love it, Cam. Cam lives in Harvey Bay, never know how to say it, in Australia, which is where like you get amazing whale sightings, like shark sightings, great fishing. Don't go in the water. There's box jellyfish. You'll be dead in like 30 seconds. But if you want to see whales and go fishing, Cam is the man. All right, let's do this. So, welcome, brothers and sisters of the Creative Uprising. It is so good to have you here. And, you know, how's your weekend been? Because, you know, for me, today has been a bit of a struggle, insofar as yesterday, I really decided that my sugar addiction had gone far enough. And so I took some steps. And of course, for any kind of addict, the first step of quitting is to have a massive binge before you quit. So last night, I think I managed to munch my way through like 2 big packets of Maltesers and 3 small Snickers. Fairly average sitting for someone like myself when it comes to sugar. And today I've been feeling the effects of just no sugar, and you know, my body really kind of feeling sluggish. You know, depression kicks in a bit when you're kind of getting the sugar out of your system. So yeah, that coupled with the fact that, you know, from a personal perspective, I really like to be able to serve you guys as fully as I can, and so this kind of tech stuff with Google I felt a lot of anger and a bit of grief as well. I was like, this is really upsetting, but we're here, and you know, one of the folks I'm going to big up on these sessions, a lady called Annie. She put me onto a book called The 4 Agreements, which I didn't, at the time when she did it, I didn't really get. Then I came across it again after doing it in Band of Brothers, and it really landed. And one of the 4 agreements is that you do your honourable best. And so today, I'm like overjoyed to be here, because today's been like, I felt like I've been wading through treacle, but I've done my honourable best, and it's so wonderful to see so many of you here on the session. And yeah, we're gonna have an awesome time, because today is all about explanations and celebrations. So we're going to make sure that anything that's missing for you guys, we cover those bits. And we're also going to make sure we celebrate what's been great for you guys so far, okay? So definitely post up anything, any like aha moments, any big kind of realizations you've had, anything that's served you so far, post those up as well, because we want to celebrate those as well. This is, you know, we are kind of, you know, we're a family, we support one another, we celebrate one another. So post up any big moments you've had over the last 10 days, because we want to celebrate those as well. All right, let me check out these comments. Cool. Catching up. Good. Fantastic. Listen, and a few of you say you've got to catch up. No problem at all. This journey, the reason why it's only 30 minutes for 30 days is that hopefully you can never get too far behind. Or that, you know, there'll be an exercise that might take you 20 or 30 minutes. And the explanation of that exercise usually is about 15 minutes. So, you know, my hope is that even though the videos on the hub are, you know, between 45 minutes and an hour, that's just us having the lock-in time, answering any questions, just bouncing off each other. But the meat of what you need to catch up with is generally going to be like a 15-minute instruction and then a, you know, 20 or 30-minute bit of exercise. So I hope that's been useful for you as well. And I can see Seb is on the creative on the Facebook Live. Great, because Seb's normally a hub man. Who knows what's happening with the hub? But fear not, there will be a recording up there. Cool. So let's do this. Some questions that have been coming in. Cam, let's deal with that. The true you. Now, have I got my little whiteboard thing? Let's do this one. Whiteboard. Now, actually, screw it. It's going to be backwards for you, so I might as well just do it to you now. So, true you. Right at the very start of these sessions, we did an exercise called True You, which is the 7 areas of your life that you can consider, so that you can start shedding some light on what the fullness of your gifts might be, what all of your assets might look like. Okay, And the example I gave was of Tash, who, amazing soul, and she came to one of the sessions that I did live thinking she wanted to be an aircraft engineer. And she left realizing that after doing this exercise that actually there was so much more. She had a love of crafts and a love of caring for people, and she decided to bring them together into these like craft mornings where she bring the old and the young together to do crafts as a way of tackling mental health challenges and fostering community spirit. So that's the kind of thing that can really happen when you kind of consider these 7 areas. So these 7 areas spell out the word true you, and it's an acronym, and we'll break it down for you now. Okay, so the first letter, T, of true you, stands for talents. So what are your talents? And that might simply be, what are your strengths? What patterns of behaviour do you excel at? So it could be something. Yeah, I'm great at football, or it could be something like, hey, generally I'm regarded as quite a good listener. People come to me, they confide in me. Okay, so what are your strengths? What are the patterns of behaviour that you have? What would other people say you're very good at? What would your customers or your clients say you're brilliant at? Okay, what would your family and friends say you're brilliant at? Okay, all of that comes under the banner of what are your talents? Okay, next up, of true you, T is talent, R is routines. What are your routines? And that simply means here we're looking at, if actions speak louder than words, well then the things that you consistently do, the routines you have that serve you, well, they're gonna hide a clue as to what your gifts and talents might actually be, what the purpose you should be stepping towards is. Okay, so it could be, do you go to the gym? It could be, do you regularly eat a green smoothie? It could be, do you regularly call your family or friends once a week? All of these are routines that serve you. So what routines do you have that serve you? Okay, so T is talents, R is routines, U is uniqueness. What makes you unique? Do you like t-shirts that are turquoise? Do you have your hair quite fluffy today, or do you have your hair slicked back? Do you believe that the Beatles were the best band ever? Okay, all of these things are things that could make you unique. It could even be your spiritual beliefs, the way you believe that your children or your friends should be treated. All of these are what makes you unique. Okay, so T is for talents, R is for routines, U is for uniqueness. E of the true you, E is engagement. What do you engage with? And that could be, hey, I regularly go to church. Now, you may get some overlaps with your routines and with your engagement and with also your uniqueness. That's fine. All that is simply highlighting is that here is an area of significance for you, right? So what do you engage with? Do you, do you raise money for a charity? Do you read certain websites, listen to certain music, go to certain events? Okay, all of these are ways that you engage. Okay, so true, T, talents, R, routines, U, uniqueness, E is engagement, what you engage with. So that's the true bit. The U bit, Y, is youth. What did you love doing in your youth? And this is such a powerful one. Such a powerful one. So between the ages of say 0 and 12, what did you love doing? Okay, what would you spend your free time doing? And it could be everything. For me, I love making pancakes. I loved playing sport. I loved playing Football Manager. I loved that, strategy, all that sort of stuff. I love being out in the woods, making dens, all this sort of stuff. And so much of it is fed into my adult life now as well. And I know Dave is a member of the group, and Dave has brought so many of his things, like surfing, music, into his adult life, and he lives as a result a really rich life now. So what did you love doing as a youth? Okay, O, true you, Y-O, is outspoken. What gets you outspoken? And this is a massive one as well. This could either be what gets you outspoken in like a really awesome way, like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever, you've got to check this thing out. Okay, you're being outspoken about this thing that's like moving you brilliantly. Or, oh my God, this is awful, I can't believe they've done that. That's getting outspoken in a kind of, like, there's that anger there, right? So what gets you outspoken? Either from an inspiration or from a, you know, being appalled point of view, or like disgusted, right? Because in both of those areas, right, there is energy. There is energy. If you're willing to be outspoken, it means there's energy. And if there's energy there, that is what is going to help you to get out there and make the difference and make the income that you know you're capable of. Okay? So, Y is youth, O is outspoken, and the final one of true you is universal. What do you believe should be universal for all human beings? So, does everyone have a right to a free education? Should all people, once they reach the age of 70, be killed? Because they'd just be useless by that time. You know, what? It's crazy, right? But it's okay. Whatever you believe should be universal for everybody, and perhaps for all life on this planet as well, for the dolphins and the cockroaches as well. What should be universal? Okay? So talents, routines, uniqueness, engagement, youth, outspoken, and final one, universals. Okay? That is the true you, broken down very quickly for you, those 7 areas. And the process is you then write down all that you can think of in those different 7 areas, all the things that are your talents, all the things that are your routines, etc., etc., as much as you can. And you then go through and highlight the 5 things you've written down that have got the most energy about them, okay? You don't necessarily need to even be able to kind of articulate why that's the one, but you know, you could, if you struggle, think, well, if I could only have 5 things on this list, what are the 5 things I'd keep? But also, where, you know, what are the things that really stir you? Like, yeah, there's something there about that one, okay? And those 5. Now, I'm not saying you can't have any of the other stuff. It's just those 5. If they're the ones with the most energy, it's possible that there might be 1 or 2 that you're like, oh, I hadn't expected that to have the most energy, but it has. So it could be that there is an undeveloped area of your assets and your gifts, okay? And so that's why we do this process, to shed a fresh light on the fullness of what you might bring to the world, okay? And a really, really powerful one, I shared this on the session, is if you can take the thing that you are most outspoken about from a joyous perspective, and the thing that you are most outspoken about from a kind of horrified perspective, okay, and find a way where they can meet, then, you know, that's I call that your synergy sweet spot, okay? That potentially is your greatest asset. And the example I gave was Clive, who loved gaming and who was like passionate about like the crap that was happening to our planet. And so over a discussion, we put together this vision for a game called Nature Ninja, which, like Pokemon Go, would get people outside engaging with nature. And the slogan for it was saving the world 1 mission at a time. Okay, so can you see how by taking those 2 elements of his outspoken and bringing them together, he's actually created something potentially very, very valuable. Okay, so that's another little tweak you can have on it. All right, cool. So Cam, I hope that helps. I hope for those of you who didn't get a chance to check out the first session, that's a useful recap. I'm going to just check out the comments, see where we're at. Ah, nice. Okay, interesting. So Michelle thinks like her average day she needs to expand her thinking, but fantastic. Well done for doing it. Week's been a new experience. The first time I've had work during one. Yeah, big up Liam. We're going to do some big ups in a minute, so I'm going to save that for a minute. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, good. Liam thinks he may need some motivation. Well, that's why you are here, Liam. Big up for stepping up. So, guys, you know, any other questions arising from any of the sessions? Any questions arising from that immediate little recap? Games to change. Nice. I'm gonna ping that over to Clive because he got recommended one called Skyrim, which is apparently how you like manage resources and things. So yeah, very exciting stuff. So let's do some celebrations, okay? And oh, hang on, all right. So Facebook is screwing Seb over. That's a shame. Seb, blessings for being here. I'm going to big you up and check out the live recording as well, which will be in the hub by tomorrow. So let me do some big ups because I really want to make sure that I honour people. Okay, it's very important, I believe, that this isn't just kind of George standing in front of a video camera and you know doing his best to be useful, right? You know, so I want to make sure that we're aware of the awesomeness that we are bringing together. Okay, so I want to just do some big ups. And you know, my background is in kind of hip hop, so that's just a big up. Is like you're saying, you know, well done, you know, good work, So I want to big up Dave and Katie. So Dave for doing a 14-hour sound engineering gig for an awesome local community event. 14 hours sound engineering, like no rest there for your brain. Katie, she was working up in Reading, got bought out of her contract and moved straight down to be with Dave, and they're setting up an amazing kind of lifestyle business. It's going to be awesome. So big up those guys. Cam, my Australian brother from another, I want to big up you for the way you've thrown yourself into the program, and for the way also you've supported others with comments and suggestions. You know, you've really epitomised what I hoped the group and community would be about. Okay, Liam, brother, I big you up because you got a job, right? And you've stepped up. I know that confidence hasn't always been your strength, and to go out there and get yourself a job, absolutely unbelievable. So we honour you for that, brother. And I know that you're on this journey because you're ready to take things to the next level. So I honour that. Okay, Tiffany, I honour you for, you know, you were a bit concerned, oh, I've missed a few sessions, but as soon as you were able to get in and be on the live sessions, you just dived in. Really interactive, and I really acknowledge and you know, honour you for that. Beautiful, thank you. And guys, if you hear any of the big ups and you're like, yeah, that's awesome, like, give it a like, give it a love. I never know how Facebook does all that stuff, but you know, you guys know that. Sinead, guys, did you check that song out that I posted in the group? Did you, like me, text Radio 1 and say, play Gambling Man again? So, Sinead, big up for getting a song on Radio 1, and more importantly, for pushing to get it replayed as well. Because very often, you know, I say this for myself very often, I'll do something big and then I'll think, oh, you know, I'll kind of take my foot off the gas. And I promise you, when you've done something big, that's the time to get your foot flat to the fucking floor, okay? So Sinead, I honour you for giving us that example, all right? Nikki Warnes, who, like, just one of the most beautiful souls I've ever met. I think yesterday she completed like some crazy half triathlon, like half Ironman triathlon. And this is a mum who, I've got no idea how old she is, but you know, she's kind of, I would imagine she's north of 35. So pretty impressive, because there's times when I feel like my body's falling apart. And so, you know, I really honour Nikki for giving the example of what is possible. And it was like pissing it with rain, and she's still like there, massive smile on her face. So if you haven't connected with Nikki, do so, because she's someone who will give you more energy than you thought possible. Michelle, I big up Michelle, like not just because she said just an awesome session for us on the angel cards, but because, you know, I saw today, she was, I think the post she put up was, she's underwhelmed with motivation. And, you know, there are days when you've got to just grit your teeth and get through it. And so, Michelle, I honour you for that as well, for giving that example. And, you know, for not shying away from the fact that it was a challenge. And we're going to explore, as we head through this session, the power of vulnerability as well. So, you know, thank you for your angel readings. To those of you who got an angel reading, was that awesome, right? And for giving us that example of continuing to nail out your 30-day blog challenge. Jenny, pretty new to the group, I honour you because, you know, you're like, I'm watching this video and I'm not quite sure what it's about, but you know, I'm really enjoying it. And you know, whenever you've got the chance, you've immersed yourself in what's happening. So I really honour you for taking a risk, for having a leap. That really embodies everything we're about. Who's up next? Clint. You know, Clint is someone who lives back where I used to live. I'd kind of come across him, we'd cross paths very briefly. But, you know, dude, I regard you as a brother. The way you've given your everything to this, your passion, the commitment you've shown, the fact that you're like stressing about not being able to catch up and stuff, it means something to you, and therefore that means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to the group, because I hope you guys have seen Clint's passion, his comments. I see Nikki has just joined. Nikki, we just bigged you up, said congratulations for your triathlon, absolutely amazing feat, and just recommending that if anyone ever needs any energy, they go and seek you out. So, you know, Clint, like truly brilliant. And thank you also, Clint, for reaching out, for getting on the phone. Okay, and that option is open to every one of you in this movement, in this community. Okay, if you have questions, if there's things that still need to be clarified that can't just go in a little comment, reach out. Okay, Bex, I honour you, not least because. You know, they had some crazy like dream things happening, like where I dreamt I was meant to be messaging Bex, and at the same time as I was doing that, she was online looking for some kind of course or mentoring program. So craziness. And Bex, I know you said, oh, I'm going to test it out, give it a go. So I really honour you for, again, taking a leap. Okay, my brother Jimmy, I honour him for dusting off his microphone. He's one of the finest MCs, rappers you will ever come across. He kind of took a break from music and he's now getting back on it. So I really honour you for doing that, brother. Luke Hartnett, my brother from Leamington as well, another musician, thinking about, how do I approach this? And again, has dived into the program. Every time you've been on one of the videos, the interaction has been crazy. So big yourself up for that. I hope you'll join me in bigging up my beautiful wife, who is currently putting children to sleep, who has enabled me to be here every night with you, doing my best to serve you. And what's more, she's been freaking here, like dropping just the ridiculous gems of wisdom, right? Absolute nuts. So I hope you benefited from the archetype sessions. Any questions for her, do let her have them. Give me a shout, whatever works. Really, really thank you to my wife. I big up Annie, not least for showing me the 4 Agreements book, but also for making a decision. And here's the thing, guys. There are going to be hard decisions in life. Annie this week decided to sell her dream home. She found and lived in her dream home and has decided to sell it. That's not a small thing. So I honour Annie for taking that step, for giving us the example that hard decisions can be made and we can keep going. Okay. I honour Miranda simply because I think almost every single session, Miranda, you have been here. So you helped me to be better because I'm like, Miranda's going to be there. And I remember your words particularly. You said, my lover is soaring and my warrior is ready to fight. And trust me, if you can have, there's no better way of approaching life than with a soaring lover and a warrior that's ready to fight. All right. So honour you, Miranda. Seb is like, he has given us the gift of taking action. Okay. We had a single conversation about this cool little thing he was trying to develop. And 2 weeks later, he's ordered all the parts from like China, America, Lithuania, and he's starting to build a prototype that is going to change how people interact with their camper van. So I honour Seb for taking action on that. Sophia and Melody, for both of you guys, I really honour you for stepping in the direction of your inspiration. Okay, both of you, said that you've had a few challenges, and yet you are willing to take a risk with me, with our movement, and that means the world. That means the world. So please keep reaching out because it's such a blessing to have you guys here. All right. And a couple more final ones. Edwin, brother Edwin, who has come over from another community that I'm a member of. Edwin, dude, you show up every night. You're dedicated. You're there, and you're desperate to learn. And it's, I didn't know if my delivery style, the way I was, might kind of be like, ugh. And you've lapped it up, so I'm really, really grateful for you being here because it proves to me that this isn't just for kind of creative in inverted commas types. It's for everyone who's a human being who's got a beautiful heart. So I honour you. And finally, I want to honour Kaylee, who is one of the UK's top young nail technicians. And Kaylee, listen, when you hear Kaylee's story, I hope you're going to go out and keep taking another step because I've been working in a mentoring capacity with Kaylee after she came on one of the courses we ran down here. And she had a kind of vision to work in this top nail salon, like the second best nail salon in Cornwall, basically. And, myself and another friend of mine who works in recruitment helped her to put together this kick-ass letter that would approach the salon boss, who was like one of her original big inspirations in nails. And you know what happened? This salon boss rejected the letter. And more than that, actually left Kaylee feeling a bit embarrassed. But you know what happens? Kaylee kept putting herself out there. She, put out some Facebook ads. She kept sharing her stuff. And you know what happened the other day? She got an offer from not the second best nail salon in the country, in Cornwall, sorry, but the number one, the best nail salon. So I honour Kaylee for taking the step, for taking that step, even when you've been knocked back. And I promise you, there will be knockbacks, and if we can follow Kaylee's example, it's going to be absolutely awesome. So that's my big ups. And thank you all so much for being a part of this. I'm going to check the comments now, just see if there's anything that's come through. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, anyone for a half marathon? Luke's new thing. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. All right, mate, this is beautiful. Thank you guys for your kind words. Cool. So, yeah, I want to see that. Luke and Jimmy getting on a bit of a rap battle. Let's make it happen. And guys, Luke mentioning the half marathon there, it actually kind of feeds into If there's no further questions, please do post up anything where you're not clear on any of the sessions we've done. While I'm here, let's bounce off each other, okay? But let me kind of give you a sense of what's coming up, okay? What's coming up? We are shifting into, here's my schedule. Look, the week's all laid out, everything, right? How organised is that? Yes. So we are shifting from a kind of the exploration phase, from the phase where we're trying to kind of discover what those gifts might be, try to connect with what the fullness of our assets might look like, and shift into, well, how do we get some clarity now on the process of sharing them? And what this fundamentally comes down to is, how can we be empowered? Because when we know how we can go out and do stuff, we have the power to change the world, literally, okay? If you're sat there going, I've got no fucking idea what I'm meant to be doing, how I can do this. I know I've got, like, it's almost like you've got this giant lump of gold, right? And you've got no idea how you can turn this lump of gold into an impact in the world. And what we're shifting into now is to discover, oh, well, you know, you could do this with this lump of gold. You could split it up like this and invest in this, and then you could use that for this, okay? So that's what we're starting to shift into now over the next few days, is looking at how we can be our most potent selves, so that the clarity that we're going to develop doesn't go to waste, okay? And more than that as well, actually, if our kind of brains, our hearts, our bodies are at their best, then the ideas, the strategies that we're going to develop are going to be far more powerful than if we're kind of, you know, only showing up as half ourselves. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what we're shifting into. Tomorrow, we're going to explore the phenomenon that will make you 5 times more productive, more effective, more creative than the average person on the street, okay? I alluded to it in some of the earlier videos. We are going to explore flow. We're going to explore something called state management, which some of you may have come across in one way or another. Trust me, we're going to go way deeper than you think you've ever explored state management before, okay? So, yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. What else is coming up? Oh yeah, and then we're going to discover how a tree can help you understand, you know, what you stand for in the world and how you're going to show up there as well. So it's going to be super awesome. Let me check the comments, see if there's anything else. Other than that, I think we're all done. You know, you can have a little bit of time, go and crack into your magic average day, go and play if you haven't had a chance to play. Cool, Leamington crew getting on it. Fantastic, fantastic. Good. So guys, any further questions? Obviously, I'm going to still stick around on social media, but you know, we've covered what I wanted to cover. Don't be afraid to hit me up if you want a telephone call. If you've got something on email, hit me up on that. Private message, all of that stuff. And you know, I feel like what we've established now is the springboard. And we are ready to leap. Okay. My concern was, you know, would we gel as a group? Because like, this isn't me. None of this is me doing it. It's all like something that we are co-creating together. That I believe is coming from a kind of higher, greater place, whatever you want to call it. But the only way that actually that can come through is if we have created an appropriate container, right? You cannot hold water in a sieve, okay? So we are holding some incredible, healing, powerful, nourishing water because we have created a container that is beautiful, that is really, really powerful and solid. And so, you know, I cannot wait for us to springboard into truly amazing things going forward. I will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Where we'll be exploring the being of doing, discovering your flow factors, discovering what state management actually really means, and looking at how you can be more than you ever thought possible. If that sounds good, I cannot wait to see you there. Post up any questions, any comments, anything you've got. This is truly one of the greatest honours ever, and you guys are all incredible. It's a beautiful, beautiful blessing to be a part of this. Go well, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and let's fly into Monday. All right, lots of love.